So we're going to briefly go over how to safely and accurately do the fit testing process. So for simplicity's sake, for the video today, I'm going to be fit testing myself, but you know that you're going to be fit testing others. So a couple of things I just want to point out is that sometimes people get confused with this hood that you're going to use for both the sensitivity testing and for the fit testing because it has two holes. So it has one large hole in the collar and one very small hole that I hope you can see in the actual window of the hood. So first off, we want to make sure that our staff have the window so that they can see and you can adequately and accurately dispense the sensitivity solution when you're making sure they can taste it, and the fit testing solution when they have the respirator on. So first off, when I am doing the sensitivity testing, I want to make sure that my staff member will stick out their tongue and let me know when they taste the solution. So a couple of things here, whether you're dispensing the sensitivity solution or doing the actual fit testing, you want to make sure that you are dispensing the solution in the hood itself and not in this larger collar hole. The other thing with this is you do want to make sure that you point it away from the staff member. And this is to avoid inadvertently squirting them in the eyes and that sort of thing. I do want to reiterate that this solution is safe. It's not something where if it gets on the skin, it's going to be harmful. But, you know, obviously we want the mist and we don't want them bombarded with the solution. So turning that nebulizer to the side once you get into the hood is going to be the best and the safest way to deliver the solution. So for the sensitivity testing, you're gonna squirt as many squirts as it takes with them holding out their tongue to taste the solution. And up to 30 sprays. So if you get to 30 sprays and they can't taste it, then you would want to move to the sensitivity solution. And we already talked about troubleshooting, so there's that as well. As far as that goes, then once they taste it, they are going to take off their hood, and we want them to get a drink of water. And the reason why is we want them to clear that taste from their mouth before they put their respirator on and do the actual fit testing. Because remember, when they do the fit testing, the goal is to have a good seal so they're not tasting the solution. And if they haven't cleared their mouth from that taste, then they may mistake tasting it during the fit test and think they have a leak when they actually don't. So, so now I've completed the sensitivity testing, and now I'm going to use my fit test nebulizer with the fit test solution in it. And I'm gonna have my staff go ahead and don the respirator that they're gonna be fit tested to. So whether it's an N95 or the half face respirator. And then they're gonna do their fit check, right? So, and during this time, you as the fit tester really need to make sure that you take a look at their respirator, making sure that the straps are not twisted, that the bottom is fully enclosing their mouth, it's under their chin, and that they have adjusted the nose piece. Even if they do the fit check and there's issues, let's say a twisted band, or perhaps, I guess the other thing that is common is, you know, the bands are down too low, and then as the fit testing goes on, it slips down and then they get a leak. That's a real bummer. So making sure they're successful from the beginning is going to make your job a lot easier. So now I always tell people at this point, they are going to keep the respirator on, or keep the hood on, excuse me, for the entire time unless they feel like they can't go on or they develop a leak. This is really important because when we just did the sensitivity testing, we allowed them to take it off when they tasted it, which could be confusing in this part if they think they can take it off, let's say after each exercise. So now they're gonna put it on because they have already done their fit check, they have their respirator on correctly. And you as the fit tester, your first set of squirts is gonna be equal to the number of squirts it took for them to taste the solution, but not less than 10, okay? So if I tasted it in 5 squirts, I'm gonna do 10. If I tasted it in 20 squirts, I'm gonna do 20. If I tasted it in 15, I guess I would probably round to 20. And the reason why we want those even numbers, you'll understand in a minute. So my first exercise is breathing normally, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do my 10 squirts. We'll just pretend for sake of time that I did 10. And I'm gonna breathe normally this whole 30 seconds. And I'm gonna go down the line to the other people I'm fit testing and do that. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do, after that 30 seconds has passed, whoopsies, sorry, this is kind of hard to do on myself, obviously. I'm going to do that next set of squirts. Now for this second time and every time after, I'm going to put in half as many squirts. So I did 10 the first time. Now I'm going to only do 5. So I'm going to keep normal breathing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go on down the line. In 30 seconds, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the next exercise, which is breathing deeply. So I'm going to do 5 squirts and I'm going to say, Lisa, you need to do deep breathing, and you're going to keep doing deep breathing until I tell you to do something differently. So even though I'm not in front of you and I'm going on to the next person, you need to keep breathing, deep breathing. I'm going to take this off and explain the rest just for simplicity's sake and because it might be a little bit hard to hear me. So I'm going to take this off. I'll pretend I'm doing my hand hygiene after this. So now I did deep breathing for 30 seconds. Now my fit tester is going to come back. They're going to do another set of 5 squirts because remember I tasted it in 10. So just 5. I'm going to keep deep breathing and then you're going to go on to the next exercise. So the moral of the story is every exercise is going to be completed twice in a row with 30 seconds of time lapsing in between those, I'll just say nebulizer squeezes or nebulizer treatments, whatever you want to call them, until I'm done. Now, if I do taste the fit test solution at any time, I'm going to take off my hood and I can try adjusting my straps, making sure that nothing happened. If that doesn't seem to be an issue, then trying a different size respirator would be the next step. And unfortunately, you do have to start all over with the fit testing. Not the sensitivity part, we already know they tasted it, but you would have to start off with the first exercise again. So the whole idea with these exercises is they're supposed to mimic things that you would do if you were with a patient that required airborne precautions. So things that move your jaw in different ways, different breathing patterns. And really the ultimate goal is to make sure that you feel safe after your fit testing with the product you're using and knowing that you passed the fit test. So if you did the same exact thing in preparation for going to a patient room, that you would be protected and you would feel comfortable with that. And during that time when you're doing that 30-second squirt and waiting that time in between, basically what's happening is you're building up that concentration of the fit testing solution in that hood and trying to just really challenge that seal is what you're trying to do. When they're done and they've passed, they're gonna take off their hood, take off their respirator, and they're good to go. Just the next step would be paperwork. So hopefully that makes sense. Definitely look at pages 4 and 5 in your fit test packet. That'll go step by step Really great resource when you're doing it for real.